Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We begin with troubling news tonight. It involves a Bemidji woman who has been charged after police say she broke the legs of a 3-month-old while babysitting earlier this week.
Bridget Stately was caught on a nanny cam grabbing the infant's feet and twisting her ankles. She also told police that she used meth while watching the child.
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley tells us what to watch out for when it comes to finding care for your child.
With 22 years of child care under her belt, Jackie Ohm knows it can be tricky when it comes to deciding who you want watching your kids.
You get a feel for people. You have to follow your gut. And I think that mom instinct is super important.
It may be easy to find childcare online like care.com, but Ohm says it's important to establish a personal relationship first.
I just really feel in this day and age, you've got to know people. Somebody knows them or knows about them.
She also says it's important for both parents and providers to feel comfortable with one another and to work together. And this same advice goes for babysitters and nannies. Jennifer Von Dahl says the responsibility just falls more on parents when it comes to calling references and checking out certifications. But she says the most important part is communication.
Don't make it a scheduled call, just call in randomly at home. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? Or, talking to them. What are you going to do today when they come in the morning, and kind of briefing them at the end of the day.
She also says doing a trial run will ease your nerves about leaving your kids in someone else's hands.
Before I went back to work full time, I had her come in just to kind of get used to the babies, see how they did and things like that.
Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Stately is facing charges of third-degree assault as well as child endangerment. She also has a history of domestic assaults, among other charges. Her next court appearance has not been scheduled yet.
A home in South Fargo suffered heavy fire damage this afternoon. It happened in the 5000 block of 8th Avenue South. Crews on the scene told us that the children of the homeowner were present at the time of the fire. They were able to make it out okay. No word on the cause of the fire or the cost of the damages.
We suspect there are a lot of you who have plans of some kind surrounding a graduation this weekend. Let's hope you don't get rained on. Hutch, I know there are some rumblings out there right now.
Indeed, they are a long ways from us. Our sky cam here from the FM area in South Fargo pointed out to the west. We can see the tops of those clouds, but that's about it. Our neighbors out west from Bismarck out towards Williston and Minot will be seeing some very strong storms. In fact, we have 4 active tornado warnings right now along this line of thunderstorms moving through western North Dakota towards central North Dakota. The individual storms are moving north or northeast, but the whole line is pressing towards us. But it is a long ways away. We do have a tornado watch in effect out in western parts of the state until 10 o'clock tonight. So when do they get here? Well, as we head to bed, generally between 8 and midnight, the first wave of storms will push through. They still could be quite strong. The main risk for us between 8 and midnight will be large hail, gusty straight line winds, flooding rains, and we can't rule out a spin up or two, but we'll have to keep our eyes on how these storms develop and progress through the night. After midnight, they move across the river into parts of western Minnesota. So it looks like a bumpy overnight tonight and a much cooler day tomorrow. I'll detail all of that coming up here in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. The unemployment rates in North Dakota and Minnesota have remained below the national average. North Dakota's unemployment rate is staying strong at 2.9%. Rolette County has the highest unemployment rate at 9%, while Divide County has the lowest at 1.3%. In Minnesota, the unemployment rate is at 3.2%. The unemployment rate nationwide dropped to 3.8% after solid hiring last month. The Labor Department reports U.S. employers added 223,000 jobs in May, and hourly wages rose 2.7% from the same time period last year.
Law enforcement in Stutsman County are on the hunt for 2 people. They're tracking down 30-year-old Curtis Heidebrink and 26-year-old Amy Haugen. Both are wanted on outstanding warrants. Haugen is also wanted in Barnes County. If you see either of them, do not approach. Contact law enforcement.
A Minnesota man will be facing a charge of maltreatment of animals after leaving some dogs and cats without food or water. The Red Lake County Sheriff's Office used a search warrant at the home of 33-year-old Ronald Bishop III and found 4 dogs and 1 cat living in inhumane conditions. They say Bishop was not living there and hadn't been for some time, but that he left the animals without adequate food and water. Investigators say the kennel conditions were unsanitary, and they put the animals at risk for disease and injury. The animals were taken to the Humane Society in Thief River Falls and will be put up for adoption.
Here's a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say Lamonte Adams is wanted in Cass County for failure to appear on a theft conspiracy charge and for possession of drug paraphernalia. Call law enforcement if you have any information on Adams.
As the search continues for a runaway Moorhead teenager, a national group is now joining the search. The Center for Search and Investigations for Missing Children is helping to find 14-year-old Danelle Flores. She was reported as a runaway on April 18th. Flores was last seen at her home wearing green camo pants and a tan tank top. She is 5 feet tall, 115 pounds. Moorhead police say she has brown hair but may have dyed it black. Anyone with information on Danelle Flores can call police.
AAA wants to remind you to talk with your teen drivers about the 100 deadliest days and risky driving situations. Take a look at this video sent to us by the company. According to AAA, the 100 deadliest driving days are between Memorial Day and Labor Day, where more than 1,000 people were killed back in 2016 by teen drivers during this period. The company says both speed and nighttime driving are big factors for crashes. AAA says that parents should lead by example and consider setting driving limits for new teen drivers.
A Minnesota first grader had been counting the days, 234 days to be exact, until her father would return from his deployment in Afghanistan. And here she is, little Ava Kearley, singing her heart out in music class. But little did she know her father, 40-year-old Lieutenant Robert Kearley, who serves in the U.S. Navy Reserves, was standing by waiting for the perfect moment. The two hadn't seen each other since last November when he dropped her off at her school before his deployment.
Daddy!
Hey, sweetie.
Oh, God. Daddy!
Hey, sweetie. Oh. I missed you.
I hope this is not a dream.
This is not a dream.
Lieutenant Kearley says he is now home for good.
Without a doubt, one of the best stories in the world.
Always are, aren't they?
Politics takes the spotlight in Rochester, Minnesota. Later on Valley News Live at 6, how busy DFLers will be at this weekend's convention.
Up next, the price tags say you're getting a deal, but are they as good as they seem?